fragrance day after day, up to 60 days. Airwick Scented Oils. Connect to nature.
These days, everyone's staring at screens, scanning the news, and watching their spending. Good vision is more important than ever, but so, especially now, is saving. That's why America's Best includes a free eye exam when you buy 2 pairs of glasses for just $69.95. That's a savings of at least $50. 2 pairs of glasses for just $69.95. Includes a free exam. That's not just a better deal, it's America's Best. Book an exam online today at americasbest.com. And you're on mute.
For the second time this school year, New York City students went back to school. This phased reopening also signals the return of 5-day-a-week in-person instruction. The DOE is moving away from the part remote, part classroom hybrid launched at the beginning of the school year. A component of the reopening will be the weekly testing of 20% of students and staff.
For more back-to-school news, watch Fox 5.
The plaintiff claims the defendant did not watch her dog as ordered. The dog ate some plastic and had to have surgery. Defendant saying, not on my watch. It happened 4 weeks after I walked the dog. Let's go back to the courtroom.
She said that he will chew on leashes and to put them in the other room, which I did on every occasion.
But you didn't. At one point, yeah, but hold on, except for this one. What did you do on this day?
On this day, I was coming back again in the afternoon, which normally I would just do one walk. So I left them out instead of putting them back because I would be back and I would take them out again. And
right,
that
but that's
was my
not,
mistake.
you know, the idea isn't, of course it was your mistake, because the idea isn't that you leave it in the place where you can save yourself 10 more feet of a walk. The idea is that you put them exactly where she's always instructed you to put them so the dog doesn't eat them. So you come back for the second walk, and what happens?
And I found a bunch of pieces on the floor, and the buckles had been chewed on. The clasps were still attached to the fabric, but it was a well-worn harness and plastic, and one of them had chewed on this harness, and there were pieces all over the floor. I picked them all up and I put them up high, and I texted Susan to tell her what happened. That other than that, you know, they were okay, but that this did occur, so that she would know right away, and if any action
and what did she say?
Taken, like, she didn't seem concerned because, you know, they were fine. He wasn't sick right away. So, and it didn't look like he swallowed anything because I picked up many pieces. So, he said that's okay, he ate one last week, or something like that.
Had Newton chewed on another harness or collar the week before?
He did, but he didn't break it apart. In other words, there were teeth marks on it, but he didn't get to it.
Okay. So you didn't bring Newton to the vet right away because you didn't think anything of what she told you. There didn't appear to be a problem. How do I know that whatever blockage Newton... Right. So how do I know? How are you going to be able to prove to me that whatever blockage did occur, how many weeks later? It was 4 weeks later, right?
3.5 weeks, yeah.
3.5 weeks later, you've got to be able to link it to this event. How are we going to do that without the slightest bit of evidence from a vet that, in fact, whatever it is that Newton chews, and we know Newton chews everything. And we know that because we know it's a problem that you alert, your dog walkers about. How are we going to know that it's this belt buckle, which she says all the pieces were there, she picked them up. I'm sure you didn't put them like a puzzle together, but, she says everything appeared to be fine. The dog didn't appear to be in distress. How do we know it's this and not something else Newton chewed? How are you going to be able to prove that she should pay, how much are you asking for? $6,000 something in the stomach surgery. I've got to know that it came from this, and you haven't brought me one piece of evidence from the vet that says that it was a buckle, much less that it was, this buckle. I mean, all the vet, according to you, all the vet says is it's black plastic. You're showing me pieces that look like black plastic. I can't identify what they are.
Seems like she has an identity issue. Will the plaintiff get $5,000? Judge Millian rules next.
If you are injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or any serious accident anywhere in the New York area, call the lawyers at 1-800-LAWYERS.
I fell on the sidewalk in front of my apartment. 1-800-LAWYERS got 700
looked at me like I was a superhero. When she was sick, it was always Daddy to the rescue. But now it's me needing the help. I didn't want her to worry about having to take care of her own family, and me as well. But luckily, a friend told me about Freedom Care, a Medicaid-based program that pays her to care for me. I used to smile when she called me Superman. Now she's giving me more of a reason to smile. She's giving me hope.
Share more holiday joy than ever with Optimum. Now your family can get ultra-fast 300 meg internet and enjoy live TV and built-in streaming apps with Optimum's entertainment experience. All for the new low price of only $50 a month, now including free installation. We'll even share a $100 Visa prepaid card with you. Plus, you can add the Optimum Amplify smart speaker with high-fidelity sound for only $1 a month for the first 3 months. Visit Optimum.com to get your share of these deals before they're gone.
Hey New Yorkers, you are doing great. Wearing your mask, washing your hands, staying socially distanced, and doing everything you can to help each other stay safe. So what's next in our fight against COVID-19? We all need to get tested for COVID-19 often, even if we have no symptoms. Why get tested if you feel okay? Because COVID-19 doesn't always cause symptoms. You can still pass the virus on to a friend, a family member, or any of the New Yorkers working hard every day to keep our city running. So please, keep wearing your mask, washing your hands, staying 6 feet apart, and avoiding indoor gatherings. And today, start getting tested for COVID-19 often. Even if you feel fine and have no symptoms, testing is safe, confidential, and at no cost to you. So do what's next, NYC. To find a testing site near you, visit nyc.gov/COVID-test or call the NYC Test and Trace Corps hotline at 212-COVID-19. Get tested today.
Start with all the moms in the world. Narrow it down to all the karate moms with a sudden, desperate need for brown sugar. Meaning you. You're the one we made by Walgreens for. You could have it in as little as 30 minutes. To make saving, shopping, and all of chaos a little easier. Wait, are those Ninja Bread men? Hey, yeah! Introducing my Walgreens. Join for 30-minute pickup at Walgreens.com.
This season, Kia's got great deals on our new lineup of vehicles built to help you take on winter. Stop by your local Kia and discover cars and SUVs loaded with advanced tech and safety features, all with our legendary reliability. So this year, you won't just go for winter. You'll command it. Right now, get 0% APR for 66 months plus 1,000 holiday bonus cash on the purchase of a 2021 Ford Police to 2021 Ford all-wheel drive for $159 a month.
After my car crash, the insurance company wasn't there. My attorneys now at the Barnes firm got me $2.5 million.
The Barnes firm, injury attorneys, call 1-800-8 million.
Big fight over Newton. The plaintiff says that she warned the defendant when the defendant was watching the dog. He eats everything. The defendant says no one told her about Newton. No one said this dog eats everything. Well, the dog ate plastic and needed surgery. Let's go back into the courtroom.
I'm sorry that this happened, but I don't think that something that happens 3.5 weeks later, and I don't even know from the vet whether that's typical that a blockage would stick around for that long. Maybe it could, but I know nothing because you have brought me none of the vet's notes, probably because they don't help you. And I gotta be able to know that it happened from this event to tell her, hey lady, fork over $6,000 for these vet bills. I just, the proof just isn't there, especially with the dog where we know that the dog ends up, chewing and biting on everything inside it. We all have to be careful. I cannot say that you have proven by a preponderance of the evidence that these bills belong to Lisa to pay. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Stick around. Doug's going to be in the hallway with the litigants, and Judge Milian will be in chambers.
Do you have a case that you want Judge Milian to hear? Call us here at 888-505-6950 or email us cases@peoplescourt.com.
Insurance said they'd pay $100,000 for my accident, but my lawyer got them to pay $800,000.
See what your case is worth.
Injured Costellino, 800-555-5555.
Oh, gosh, how do we hate this kid.
When you return home to the comfort of your childhood bedroom, there's nothing else you'd rather see. No offense, Mr. Pence. Quilted Northern.
Attention, New Yorkers. Keep washing your hands with soap and water, or use hand sanitizer. Keep staying home if you're sick, except to receive medical care. It helps to keep others from getting sick. Keep doing your part to keep your friends and family safe. Wash your hands, stay home if you're sick, and get tested regularly. For more information, visit nyc.gov/health/coronavirus.
For almost 4 decades, we have been working with and fighting for survivors of sexual abuse. We know how uncertain life has been for so many survivors. Some things are certain. It's time for the survivors to recover their power. And I am certain we are there for you to share the journey in the recovery of your power and the protection of other kids. That's certain. Call them confidentially today.
The holidays are full of traditions, but it's time they got a technology update with a new Hyundai filled with available features like blind spot cameras and oversized touchscreens. And with the big savings of Hyundai holidays, these are sure to make your holiday. Hyundai holidays. The longer you look, the more there is to like.
For a limited time, lease a 2020 Hyundai Tucson for $149 a month, or get up to $37.50 in total savings. Offers end soon.
Ooh, I actually suck, bro.
$60 million. But Rosalino,
See what your cases were.
Car crash, call Salino. 800-555-5555.
On the next TMZ Live, looks like Jared and Ivanka moving to Florida. They've got big plans for the new year on a $30 million patch of land.
Coming up next on Fox 5.
So the judge finds for the defendant in this case. We're going to talk to the plaintiff first, Ms. Kernick. I have to ask you a question. Number one, how do you respond to this fact that you lost the case?
Well, I just can't believe it. I mean, it's my fault because I probably should have gotten a statement from the veterinarian, but the vet couldn't say anything except that it was black plastic that they took out of his stomach.
Well, you're right. You should have had testimony from the vet. It would have helped you. Secondly, you have another big problem. You have a dog who's a pet, runs around your house, and will eat anything. How do you stop it? How do you control it?
Well, at this point, whenever he's not within my sight, he goes in a crate.
Well, that's one way. You could put a muzzle on him, or putting him in a crate even better. That's kinder. Listen, I feel for you. Pet owners all over the country could feel for you. That's a tough project. Thank you anyway. I'm sorry you lost the case, okay? Now let's talk to the defendant in this case. Lisa, I think you've got to be breathing a real sigh of relief, don't you?
Yeah, it was hard to hear that news and then to be accused of negligence. That's really difficult. And luckily, he's okay.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you were surprised to get sued for more than $5,000. Anyway, congratulations, you don't have to pay. Okay?
Thank you.
And that'll wrap it up for this case. Let us now join Judge Million and her husband, Judge John, once again for another session after the verdict.
So, Marilyn, here we have a case, again, where without expert testimony, there's just no way that a plaintiff is going to be able to close that circle and establish causation and collect damage.
Did you hear the last thing she said, though, which she never said in her complaint? It was, well, I didn't do that because all the vet could say is that it was black plastic. Exactly. That's why you don't win the case, because you can't prove that everything is black plastic. I mean, if the dog chews everything inside, it could have been anything. And when you're trying to pin $6,000 worth of bills on somebody, you should have the vet report that either identifies the object, or if the vet can't, you can have the vet report anyway, so I can see what the vet says. But also, the vet could have said in the report, or she could have asked them to say, hey, could it be something that was 3.5 weeks in the making?
Right, and that's very sad. It's been this dog's going to be 5 years old later this month.
With 5 surgeries or
at least 3 surgeries.
Yeah, horrible. Yes, I got an idea. I'll train the dog.
Well, she says she's creating nice
He's creating them. Okay, that's better than nothing, but somebody professionally training them, it's got to be cheaper than the surgery.
I'm sorry.
Lisa, I'm not trying to be funny, but if you're getting a dog, you should go on Yelp. If you want a rescue, make sure it's a reputable rescue organization and one that really looks out to make sure that the dog and you are a good fit. Welcome to DMZ Live. Harvey Levin here. Charles here. So, more Tom Cruise news. Tom Cruise Blues news. Because, you know, in the middle of this rant that he went on over COVID, his mask was janky and it wasn't safe.
Most likely. So we've seen lots of shots of Tom on the set of Mission Impossible over the last few months, and that mask is the one he's usually wearing. That mask does not stop coronavirus from spreading, according to the CDC. And for months now,